Hello there. With the latest pronouncement from the EU Parliament, it is blindingly obvious that a no-deal Brexit is the inevitable outcome. Firstly, please subscribe and like this video to give my channel a boost, and I'm always uploading new content, so please do check back daily. On Thursday, the EU Parliament voted through a recommendation that doubles down on their Brexit negotiation demands and must surely now guarantee a no-deal Brexit outcome at the end of the year. Now, although there are still 10 days to go until the technical deadline of the 30th of June for agreeing a Brexit talks extension, the Boris Johnson government has made it clear that there will be no extension. That gives us just 6 months to wait to be, at last, fully free of the EU. But if a deal is to be agreed, then it needs to be done fast to give the business community as long as possible to get ready for the end of the Brexit implementation period. But Brussels wants the UK still to be bound by EU rules, and the UK rightly wants to be completely free of them. And it thankfully looks like there will be no compromises by the UK. And the EU, despite some recent indications to the contrary, now seem to have reverted back to their control freakery type. The EU Parliament adopted a text on Thursday that basically tells the Commission and the EU Council that MEPs want Michel Barnier, the EU chief Brexit negotiator, to stick to the demands that the UK stays controlled by Brussels and that EU trawlers must be able to keep emptying our waters of fish. This report was adopted by 572 votes in favour, 34 against and 91 abstentions. The EU Parliament press release talked about UK cherry-picking and its unwavering support for Michel Barnier. And it also said that Parliament's consent to any future trade agreement with the UK is conditional on the British government agreeing to a level playing field, common rules and standards in the area of, among others, environmental protection, labour standards and state aid, and on the conclusion of a satisfactory agreement on fisheries. This is a necessity due to the UK's geographical proximity, level of interconnectedness, and already high level of existing alignment and interdependence with EU rules. And here's a couple of paragraphs from the lengthy recommendation itself. Underlines that the EU chief negotiator has the Parliament's full and unwavering support for insisting that level playing field guarantees are a crucial element of any agreement with the UK, as this is not dogmatism or ideology from the EU side, but a prerequisite to establishing an ambitious and balanced partnership with the UK and preserving the competitiveness of the internal market and EU companies, as well as maintaining and developing in the future high levels of social, environmental and consumer protection. Respects fully in this regard the sovereignty of the UK, which the EU has no intention of undermining in the current negotiations. Recalls, however, that the UK will never be equal to other third countries due to its status as a former EU member state, current complete regulatory alignment, and the significant volume of trade between both parties, as well as its geographical proximity to the EU, which all explain the necessity for strong and robust level playing field provisions in the agreement. And as ever, the Spanish government continues to greedily eye the Rock of Gibraltar. Reiterates its support for the negotiating directives which provide that Gibraltar will not be included in the territorial scope of the agreements to be concluded between the EU and the UK, and that any separate agreement will require the prior agreement of the Kingdom of Spain. And they also said that they remain open to a Brexit talks extension. And on fisheries they said, reiterates that no comprehensive agreement can be concluded between the EU and the UK if it does not include a complete, balanced and long-term agreement on fisheries and fisheries-related matters, upholding the continuation under optimal conditions of access to waters, resources and markets of the parties concerned, as well as existing fishing activities. But as the UK is taking back full independent control of its fishing grounds, as it should do, with annual quotas dished out by us, then this demand by the EU is a real deal breaker, is it not? Especially as they go on to say, greatest mutual benefit will be obtained by protecting shared ecosystems and sustainably managing their exploitation, by upholding existing reciprocal access to waters and fisheries resources with the aim of upholding existing fishing activities, as well as by defining common, coherent, clear and stable principles and rules enabling mutual open access of fishing and aquaculture products to markets without causing economic or social tensions through unbalanced competition. And then to talk about insisting on the need for an overarching governance framework to ensure that any breaches of provisions concerning reciprocal access to waters and resources can be subject to sanctions, including the suspension of preferential tariffs for UK goods in the EU market. So only the UK can be punished. Typical. Just about seals a no deal for me, that one. There's shed loads more, all in the same vein, all one-way traffic demanding permanent UK vassalage. These talks are going nowhere, and this EU Parliament vote is just more evidence that we did the right thing in voting to leave this overbearing organisation. Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it. So what do you think about all of this? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. And thank you very much for watching.